Hey guys, today I'm going to make a video on why staking in RuneScape, boxing to be specific, but this would actually go for Rapier and Mage boxing as well, isn't actually random, as in 50-50 each stake, like 50-50 that you'll win or lose. And most people think that whatever you hit each time, it's like there's the same chance that you'll hit 10 as there is that you'll hit 100. But after doing 2,000, well over 2,000 stakes, you can ask anyone that's done well over 2,000 stakes, they'll be able to tell you the same thing what I'm about to tell you. And it's that you go through stages where you hit high and then you hit low, basically, to sum it up. And I've done a little graph here, and this is typically what will happen while you're staking. And down here are the hits each time, and here are here's it plotted on a graph, and that's the actual amount that you hit. So you can see that you start off hitting high, and then you go down hitting low, and that might be your first stake, and then you hit low, for example. You start hitting low down here. This is really compressed. This would be like tenfold basically. Maybe not actually that, but I should have put a few more low hits in here, and then you gradually go back up to hitting high again, and you have a few high ones, and this is where you get a typical pattern where you start hitting where you win, you lose, you win, you lose, if you go like this. And that's a typical thing to happen when you're staking. But another thing to happen is this, but it's really drawn out basically. So this is an example of this, but it's really drawn out. So you can use this to your advantage, and you can see sort of like when you're around here, when you're hitting 60s commonly and then hitting zeros. I didn't put the zeros on this, by the way, but you would be hitting a hell of a lot of zeros in between. It would distort this line. I don't actually need that line, but it would distort it, so I didn't want to put zeros in, but you would be hitting a hell of a lot of zeros in here, and that's completely normal. When you start hitting more zeros and less 80s and 90s, then that's when you might be coming into this section. So that's when you may want to start staking low, and then when you get up to like hitting 60s and stuff again like here, that might be when you're coming around here. So you might win that stake or you might not, depending on how good the other guy is doing. And then you know that you're now coming into that area there, so you know that next stake you should stake high, but obviously anything can happen, and that could end up being the height of what's happening, and you go back down again. But it's just risks that you take, and you need to weigh up the risks. Is it worth winning the next match, like having a good chance of winning the next match, or having a low chance of losing the next match, sort of. So don't stake too much, don't stake what you can't afford to lose, just do like a normal bet, but a little bit more, sort of, if that makes any sense. Okay, here is actually I'm not sure what this is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Oh wait, yeah I do, I'll come to that in a second. Actually I'll come to it now. Yeah, okay, this is like the typical low point, so that's down like there. And as you can see, this is spread over 30 stakes, 25 stakes, and I've plotted it. I don't know. There's a hell of a lot more zeros. Sometimes you hit like 8 zeros in a row. It's common to do that. And then in between you get these low things. You get the occasional high one, and you think, oh, we might hit a bit more, but you don't. And this is sometimes where people kick. But personally I don't really ever kick. I switch when I box, but sometimes when I'm hitting low like this I don't see the point of switching, and I just go on Facebook or something until the box is over, so because I can't be bothered to waste time and effort on something that I'm probably going to lose anyway, and statistically I should lose. Okay, this is a typical high point. Actually no, it's not really a typical high point because it's got only one zero maybe, but sometimes this is actually quite common, maybe 1 in 100, maybe 1 in 100 stakes, I don't know. But yeah, this is sort of what can happen, and you just go crazy and you hit like 80s and 100s and stuff like that, and the match is over in like 12 hits, which is possible. It's really rare, but when it happens it's good. And then you might be thinking, oh, Rambo, you know, next stake you do like half your cash stack, but don't do that, because it happened to me recently, and I didn't do half my cash stack. I did a sensible amount. I didn't do that much at all, actually. I did less than I probably should have, even under the circumstances, and I lost the next match. I did pitifully. So that can show you how quickly you go from up here and then you just straight down. It was like vertical. I wasn't hitting anything the next match, and I'm max, and I stake maxed people, so yeah. Okay, so what you can do to combat this, it's not really a horrific tragedy that it's not actually now 50-50. I use it to my advantage. I use a method which I'm not going to disclose right now, because that's not what this video is about. But what you can use, a useful tip, is the common period of time between these low points and the high points is 2 to 3 stakes. So if you lose 2 stakes in a row, then that means you should be coming out of that low point now, and you should be going back into the high point or the midpoint. And yeah. Also, what I do is I keep a log of every single one of my stakes. Well, not actually every single one. I think there's like if you look on here, I might do a proper video on this, but I've got the date, the stake number, the amount, whether I won or lost, the total, my actual cash stack at that time, this was months ago, and the last 5. That's not available because I hadn't done 5 yet. I've then got some statistics and notes to self to keep me amused, and then I've got some graphs down here, and that was my cash, was it my cash? No, my earnings from the first 100 stakes. So as you can see, I made 23-ish mil on that first 100 stakes, and then you can see some big dips here, and that's not good. And then they go on for a while, actually. Yeah, okay, so I'd recommend doing one of these as well, because I'm amazing and godly. I'll show you what mine does, how it's really useful. I don't need to, you can do this as well, it's really easy. Actually, I didn't actually do it, boom bang, 49 arrested for me. But I've got it like that. Say I won a 100k stake, so I type in 100, 1, 2, 3, like that. Tells me the stake number, tells me the amount I won, which I put in, and then it tells me whether I won or lost, and then the total amount of money I have, the actual amount of money I have. I'm poor at the moment. If I lose, like that, and then the last 5 stakes I've now earned nothing, and my actual amount of money has gone down to a pauper. Okay, so that's a really easy way you can, and it gets rid of the fascination that staking is just 50-50, but you actually go through high and low points, but you can use them to your advantage really easily. I think that's about all I've got to say for this video. I'm gonna do a video of all of my log, which lots of people may find interesting. This is just a section of it. I haven't logged every single stake, but as you can see there, in this log there's 535 stakes. So this will give you a really good idea of stuff. And if you want, post in the comments if you want me to make a guide on how to do a log like this. Yeah, I'm not really sure what was going on there. That's a bit odd. 3 stakes I lost in a row before I won one. Then 4. It was a bad day maybe. Oh, and you also these good and bad things there, they can be dragged up a massive amount. You can win 8 stakes in a row. easily, but then you can lose 10 as well. But you've got to get the bad patch over with. Okay, that's all I have for this video. So subscribe for more staking videos, like the video because that makes the video more well known, makes me more well known, which makes me happy. That's about all. Thanks for watching.